Good morning. Great morning. Wonderful morning. Spectacular morning. Outstanding morning. Magnificent morning. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Again, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have. And what is that choice about? It's about how we're going to think. It's about the perceptions that we have. See, it's the reminder of how your reality has nothing to do with the facts. It has to do with the meanings you give those facts. And you are the one that gets to determine what the meanings of everything in your life is. And the most amazing part about that is when you gain control of that, when you shift your perspective, your life changes. You change your attitude about things, guess what? Your life changes. It's very simple. It's a very simple thing to connect with. In other words, it's cause and effect, like attracts like. And the sooner you connect with that and start using exactly what we're talking about, the sooner you will deliver the change you seek in your life. It all comes down to how your results have a cause, what you're earning, how much you do for work, your lifestyle. That's an effect. And the effect of that is coming from a cause. And that cause is how you're thinking. Change how you're thinking, you'll change that. And you can see evidence of this everywhere. It's just a matter of you deliberately making those changes inside and work with the law so that you can deliver those changes. And that's what we share here at Elevitality. This is what I dove into to deliver different results in my life by studying what Bob Proctor taught. And it's the same thing that Dolly did. See, both of us, we learned from someone who understood it more than we did. And we applied what was shared. We followed instructions. And from that following of those instructions, guess what? The results changed. And what was amazing is how they changed what felt like effortlessly. And again, that's something that's available for you. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to tap into that hidden power. So tap into it. Like it's totally worth it. You're totally worth it. All right. So I want to bring in something from Neville here before we dive into this beautiful gem here, Secret of the Ages. And it's such an amazing thing to think about because it ties into understanding how powerful the inner narrative is. And so I want to read this to you. This is just a very short statement. With that being said, it's really, really awesome. And again, it has to do with your assumptions. There's a statement called the power of assumption. And your assumption is what you believe to be true, what you're holding on the screen of your mind. Now, here he says, through the mastery of your assumptions, you are in very truth enabled to master life. It is thus that the ladder of life is ascended, thus the ideal is realized. The clue, now listen to this, the clue to the real purpose of life is to surrender yourself to your ideal with such awareness of this reality that you begin to live the life of the ideal and no longer your own life as it was prior to the surrender. Now, what's he saying here? He's saying that if you shift your inner narrative, the idea that you're consenting to as true of yourself, if you shift that to living from within as if what you would love is already happening in your life right now, and surrender and let go of what has been in your life, what you have connected to and accepted and are living from will start to evolve and reveal itself as results in your life. results that are in harmony with that. See, again, it's an inside job. You want to earn more money. You've got to consent to the idea that you are already earning more money subconsciously, not you're going to. Remember, when you're in want, the image that you're consenting to as true of yourself is you not having it. I will be is a confession that I am not. But when you look around inside and you start to see that narrative of, yes, that's the way that it is, and you start to relive that, what are you doing? You're creating memory cells. And the more and more you live that way, the more and more you connect with that inside, the more and more your subconscious mind will see, hey, that's important. And then it'll start to do everything else to materialize it in your world. Again, though, the emphasis here is assuming that that's the way it is inside. See, that's an image, that's imagining, and imagining creates reality. And think about the application here. And I know I talk about how important it is for you to apply, but this application that I'm referencing to is different in terms of, think about the application here in terms of how it applies to everything. Remember, everything produces after its own kind. Things are not brought into existence by thinking of their opposites. If you want to be happy most of the time, you've got to start being emotionally involved with happy ideas. And then from there, that happiness will show. And it's the same thing with money, same thing with relationships, it's the same thing for lifestyle. Again, it's an inside job. And the sooner you connect with that and start thinking that way, the sooner you'll start seeing the results in your life. All right, so with that being said, let's go into this. Now, if you don't have a copy of this, make sure you do get a copy of it. Make sure that when you get it, you underline it, highlight it, study it, memorize it. But most importantly, you apply what we're sharing with you. So you ready? Type in the comments, I'm ready, if you're ready to dive into this beautiful gem, the secret of the ages. But before we go into that, for those of you who are watching this live stream and want to see exactly what we've been diving into, and if that first opening monologue that I shared with you helped you to feel this power inside of you, this inspiration to learn more about you and how your mind works, then do yourself a favor. Go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later. You'll have access to the remainder of these live calls and also to the replays. It's a wonderful way to